This is George Washburn with Rock Music Critic and Matt Buchanan as well. We're here with Mikael from Opeth. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Just got up, as you can tell.
So your new album, Heritage, came out on Roadrunner about a month ago. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, it's our 10th record. It's got 10 songs on it. It was recorded in Stockholm during early 2011. And we spent 20 days in the studio, a studio called Atlantis Studio. It used to be Metronome Studios in the heart of Stockholm, pretty much.
Okay.
And it's got the 5 members that, you know, we recorded the Watershed record, but after the recording, Per, the keyboard player, is not with the band anymore. And we have a new keyboard player, Yuke, who also plays on the album, plays the first song, the title track.
Right.
And it was produced by me. I wrote the songs on there and mixed it together with Stephen Wilson at his studio.
Okay.
And it's a nice record.
So heavy metal fans don't seem to deal with change very well. How have the fans been reacting to the fact that there aren't any death metal growls or the heavier, crunchier guitars?
Well, it's not been too bad. I mean, I think online it's probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
But those people who spend that much time online complaining, you rarely see them in the flesh, so to speak. You know, the people who actually come to the shows, come up to me, they seem to really dig it. You know, and you know, there's been, I mean, you see people in the crowd and hear like, play some fucking heavy, something heavy,
right.
And which is fine. You know, I'm not gonna point fingers at anyone, but I mean, we're not adjusting for anyone either. We're doing what we want to do, and either you with us or not. You know, it's just simple as that. If you're just looking for that type of screaming type of vocals, there's so many bands out there you can go listen to instead.
Sure. So moving forward in the future, do you think that you'll continue to stay away from the death metal vocals, or even the death metal sound? I mean, do you think maybe you would do an album where the music was heavier, but with clean vocals?
Don't know. It's You can only speculate. You know.
Sure.
Your guess is as good as mine, pretty much. It feels like every time I write, you know, I might have like an idea or a wish what I want to do, but it rarely materializes. You know, if I try to plan ahead, that's never going to be what I end up doing.
Right. It's not like the new album isn't heavy. It's just a different kind of heavy.
Yeah. I think it's intense in a whole different way, but. I'm not sure what's going to happen for the future. You know, right now that album is still really fresh and new for us. And I don't have plans to write anything right now, to be honest. And, it's probably going to be like 2 years until we do another album. So in that time span, you might get into something else. You know, you might have a record of complete silence.
If I could ask. Would this affect Bloodbath at all? Is that going to be something that you're going to continue to do, or would you still do that sort of thing with Bloodbath, or is?
Well, Bloodbath for me is it's something. It's not a creative thing for me. It's something I do for fun, and I am a big death metal fan, of course, but I'm not part of the modern death metal scene. I don't feel
that was our big concern as well. You know, hopefully we still get death or Bloodbath, on occasion. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not a constant member of Bloodbath. I'm one of those guys who kind of come and go a little bit, you know. And the other guys are the band, and I'm just a singer. And so, like for the last couple of records, I mean, it's been a case of me like they asked me, "Do you want to sing on this album, or should we find someone else?" I'm like, yeah, I can sing, you know, or oh, I'm sorry, I can't, you know.
Right.
Or I don't want to right now.
Sure.
And they're fine with it. Nobody's like really pushing for Bloodbath as a professional band. Just kind of took off more than we expected. You know.
Oh yeah, it's got some good stuff.
Yeah, it's great, you know.
Yeah.
But none of us expected it to be. I mean, we could probably do a headlining tour with Bloodbath now.
I think you could, yeah.
But that was never the plan.
Right. Are there any other musical styles, genres, instruments, themes that you have yet to explore that maybe you'd like to?
Not really, you know. I mean, well, you never know. I might stumble upon like a genre that I never heard before that I like. But most of the stuff that I listen to, and especially with this new album, I kind of tend to touch a little bit on everything that I like, but you never know.
Sure. So Opeth and Catatonia, that's a great touring pair. How's that been for you? I mean,
it's been nice. It's been probably one of my favorite tours. We toured with them before, in 2000 or 2001, and that was good too. We shared a bus, but it was a lot of drinking, and it was more of a kids in a candy store, you could say.
Yeah. Could I ask what your favorite drink is?
It would, depends.
I mean, say your favorite beer of the moment.
Beer, I drink any beer. I like some pale ales and stuff like that, but I get so fucked up on them, and I gut problem next day.
Right.
So I like everything from heavy beer to Coronas, but I'm trying to cut down on beer. I'm full. I don't really feel like one beer and it's delicious.
Yeah.
But the next is just. So I'm more of a red wine type of guy these days. If I want to get a little bit buzzed.
That's good too. So you're an avid vinyl collector. Do you hit many record stores while you're on the road looking for,
Yeah.
new finds?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah. Have you found anything, lately that you really?
Yeah. Well, nothing. I haven't bought records that I've been looking. I haven't really found anything that I've been looking for. But I tend to buy the same records over and over again.
Is there one vinyl that's evaded you to this point that you're searching for still?
Oh,
and maybe if anybody sees this, they can help you get your hands on it.
Yeah, well, my top want is an album by a guy called Will Malone, who is a producer, arranger of strings and stuff like that, and they did a solo record in 1970 or 69 or 70 that I'm looking for, and I never even seen a physical copy of it.
I had an album like that once called Ethel the Frog. Have you ever heard of them?
The Frog?
Ethel the Frog.
Yeah, I heard of them.
New wave of British heavy metal band. It took me forever to find that LP.
Yeah.
So I've heard you say that you're discouraged with the contemporary metal scene. Could you give me some examples of what about it is just not,
It doesn't have so much substance for me. It's a little bit too much based on some type of heavy modern production and screaming vocals in the screaming vocals in the verse, clean the chorus.
Right.
I mean, it's fine, we've done the mix and everything ourselves, but it just seems a bit bloodless to me. I like experimental music, or at least bands kind of develop a little bit and develop their sound. And people tell me, listen to this and that band, you'll love it, and I just never feel I find something that I haven't really heard before.
Are there any contemporary metal bands that you do enjoy?
Yeah, there's some. I like, I'm not sure if that's contemporary, but I like bands like Catatonia and Tool, and is that, I don't know if that's metal. I think Mastodon are doing, it's a good band.
Yeah, it's good. Good to know. So people start bands for many reasons, to impress women, to strike it rich, artistic expression. What was your initial inspiration for wanting to start a band in the first place?
It was the guitar, basically. I wanted to be a guitar player. I thought it was the most beautiful, the guitar was the most beautiful thing.
And has that been your inspiration the whole time? It hasn't changed? I mean, some people start it for one reason, and then as they become more skilled and technical, then they're like, well, I guess you really already answered that.
Well, it changed a little bit because I don't aspire to be a lead guitarist as much as I did when I was younger. I'm more into the whole songwriting type of thing now. But it never strayed from the creative process. That's what I like the most, like playing the music itself. There's things on the side that you might like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's like positive side effects of you being in a band and stuff like that. But, at our level, it's such a, you don't really see too much of that. It's still very much the music.
Okay. What do you think you would be doing if you hadn't gotten into music?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I don't really have any, my education, I was took a 2-year course in high school, electronics, soldering and stuff like that.
Right.
And I got a job in a guitar store
Okay.
after that. And we only sold acoustic guitars, so there wasn't much in my education that I kind of... But I probably working, I mean, I had 3 dreams, like what I wanted to do. And number 1 was rock and roll. And I wanted to work in a record store, which I've done. And I wanted to work in a guitar store, which I've done. So it'd probably be either of the other 2 then.
Okay. So how would you sum up the first 20 years of Opeth, and do you think you'll still be around in another 20?
Don't know.
Don't know.
The first, well, you know, it doesn't feel like 20 years. It's gone by so fast, you know. And we've been working so much, we never really had too much time to reflect on actually how's it going for us. You know, what are we doing? Our records, you know, we have 10 records behind us now, which is like, that's crazy. And we're touring all the time, and we're a professional type of band, if you know what I mean.
So, being in the business as long as you have, is there anything that you would have done differently? And, you know, if you could go back 20 years from now and say, hey, me, you know, don't do this, you know, is there anything you would have changed?
No. There's not been any like... I've never been at the crossroads and took the wrong turn, so to speak, you know. It's always been... I was believing what we've been doing at the time, you know. So I don't really have any regrets.
Okay. Where's the most interesting place you've ever played a show?
That would be India, Chennai. We played in it's like a rainforest type amphitheater in the woods, basically, in a gymnasium type of area, and there's monkeys hanging around and reindeer walking around, and it was 10,000 people. It was a strange, beautiful experience. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we end here, is there anything you'd like to talk about or share?
No.
Nope. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to sit down with us today. And this is George Washburn from Rock Music Critics saying, stay metal.
Thank you. I have one follow-up one if you want to keep it going. Do you, after these 20 years and how long you guys have been around, do you think you realize how big of a band you guys are in the whole metal world? Because when they talk about the big bands in metal now, you guys are up there with, you know, when people say, hey, who are the big ones? Iron Maiden, you know, Pantera, Opeth. These are the albums and the bands that people are mentioning to get new metalheads into the band. Do you get some of that hey, we are this band and we're...
No.
You don't get that at all?
No. Not at all. No, I don't feel that. I mean, those are my, like, I would never put our name in next to Iron Maiden. You know, they're just, I mean, they're the reason, one of the reasons why I'm playing. So it would be crazy for me to think like, yeah, they're my colleagues.
Yeah.
They're still my idols.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Great.
I see what you're saying, yep.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and have a good show tonight.
Thank you.